Hey, to answer the question posed several times earlier today on June 6, 2025, quote, is Finkel crazy, end quote, or, quote, is Finkel high, end quote. Uh, I am not high. Well, actually, I'm a little bit high on life. Uh, yeah, I'm crazy. Well, that's a loaded question. How do you define crazy? Well, you may have known between two channels I did 6 hours of this. Little editing secret. Actually, I did about 4 or 5 minutes of that, and in my Movavi studio, I copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste to make it a 3 hour long video, and then I posted in three different 3 hour windows on two different channels. So no, I did not spend 6 hours doing this. Now, I forget what time of day it was. I want to say 2:15, 2:30, mid late afternoon. I peeked on the latter of the two channels doing this dot 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 dash, and I saw that Muxer was the only one as of that time who got it and announced that he got it. So the prize, first place prize, goes to Just Muxter. I don't know if he got it because we had discussions around this topic before, or if he's just super duper intelligent like I am. I can't be sure, but he understood, and he wins the prize. By the way, the prize is 1 full year of being able to watch my videos for free. I won't charge him for at least 1 year to watch my videos. So congratulations to Muxer. He is the only one that I'm aware of who got it. Uh, by the way, Just Muxer, if you're watching this right away or later, whatever, uh, I think there's probably two or three movies that I will reference here in this video. For the chat and play movie nights, you may want to consider the oldest of these three movies, or two. Of all the movies that I reference, you may want to use the oldest, as it is a free movie on YouTube TV and movies if you have premium. That would tell me you're probably not very likely copyright strike. I can't be sure, but I didn't have to click anything but play. So yeah, use it. And somebody else loses. I think the Kiwi, you lose. You thought it was SOS. You were close. SOS would be a Morse code reference, but it'd be dot 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 dash 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 dot dot dot. What you're hearing here is dot 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 dash dot 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 dash. Oh, I think I just gave it away. Okay, so dot 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 dash dot 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 is Morse code for the letter V. V. Today's Sesame Street has been brought to you by the letter V. It's Morse code. Morse code has 26 letters and 10 numerals. No, you don't have to memorize them. But if you're going to make fun of me and use the phonetic alphabet, make sure you get the phonetic alphabet correct, because that one's pretty easy to remember. The only thing I remember in Morse is the S, dot, 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 the O, dash, 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 and the V, dot, 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 dash. Well, by now you may have noticed that there's a little bit of a musical tone to when I keep saying dot, 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 dash, bum, 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 bum. You probably recognize that. Yes, if you thought those were four famous notes from Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, first movement, you are correct. Actually, it keeps repeating itself through all three movements, but it's most famous in the first movement, and many movies and cartoons and TV shows use it to be something scary. It's not scary. People misunderstand the passion, and they misunderstand the name of this repeating situation. Okay, so Beethoven's Fifth Symphony is often used in movies and other media to evoke feelings of dread, suspense, or even a sense of impending doom. This is partly due to the symphony's most powerful and dramatic nature, especially the famous opening motif. I want you to remember that word, motif. Motif is something used in music and poetry to express something that repeats itself. Dun, 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 over and over and over again, or a generally specific motif would be allegedly in Minecraft, allegedly in Minecraft, allegedly in Minecraft. Cuckoo, cuckoo. Okay, it's something that repeats itself. Part of the problem is Beethoven was multilingual, and in one of the languages, I forget, Italian, German, I don't know, fate motif was spelt like we would read fatal, the fatal motif. So people would refer to gloom and dread and death. It's fate. It is what is coming to you. And what did Beethoven say about fate? I will take fate by the throat. It shall not wholly overcome me. Expressing his resilience and refuses to succumb to hardship, his quote from a letter to his friend Franz Wegler reflects his optimism, not doom and dread, optimism and spiritual strength in the face of his deteriorating hearing. Huh? What? What'd you say? Huh? Can't hear you. All right, let's continue. So, why would Finkel put for 6 hours, 3 hours on 2 different channels, ... dash? Why would he do that? Well, let's explain that. Why would he do it specifically on this day, June 6th? If Muxer's up yet, I don't think he's up on the internet yet, but if he is, and you watch his almost daily Today in History, you might figure that out. Maybe not. I don't know. But okay, so. And it's June 6th, and ... dash equals V. What does V stand for? Well, I would say it stands for victory, and in the music world, Beethoven's Fifth. So let me waste some of your time and tie all of these in together. If you got a few hours. I'm kidding, it won't take that long. Okay, listen, my children, and you shall hear. Do you hear that? Boom, 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 boom. You hear that? I hear it. Turn up your volume if you don't hear it. It's going to get louder. Not the studio mix-up of getting the computer noise in the background, the drum beat. Ici Londres. All right, both you movie buffs and you history buffs are starting to put it together. Now, if you're a classical movie buff, you got that this is The Longest Day. If you're a history buff, you got that this is June 6th. If you're a classical musical buff, you get that it's the motif, the fatale motif, the fate motif. It's da 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 da, and it's all tied together as V. As the movie accurately depicts, ... dash was used in many forms. Drum beats, audio, visual, the lights, flash, 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 over and over again throughout the movie, and the Allies adopted it as one of their many codes, this code being for victory. A pretty simple one. They had some other codes too. It's funny how Hollywood fiction kind of imitates life. This more recent movie, actually they did a more recent movie based on this movie, but this movie you're seeing now, Red Dawn with Patrick Swayze and some other folks, it stole some lines from The Longest Day. You're about to hear them, and Longest Day got them from the history of the French resistance communication with their allies in Britain and the United States. Let's go down memory lane and see Patrick Swayze's movie just for a minute.
Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
Yeah, the use of the chairs against the wall. John has a long mustache. The cognac. What is it? Something in blossom. The molasses in blossom will make a great cognac, or something like that. These phrases were used in World War II and repeated several times in fiction and in history to be templates for, if we say this, we mean that. Now, surprising to all of us, whatever we're planning, all of a sudden, after Elon Musk was literally given the key to the White House, for the last few months he's been given the key to the government. Now he has a lot of data, a lot of contracts, a lot of power that Trump gave to him, and quite frankly, so did Democrats before Trump. So it's not just Trump, but Trump really escalated it. And he got all of us into a sticky wicket, a pickle, if you will, now that Elon Musk has data from Social Security Administration, data from the IRS. On what Americans? We don't know. He has data from top secret and higher material because of his government contracts with SpaceX and it was that satellite internet company. And he's just been given the keys to our friggin' government on so many levels. And now this holder of Canadian passports, South African passports, U.S. passports with citizenship and direct access to the Chinese Communist government. He's got the keys, baby. I'm so fresh, I got the keys to the White House. Well, now that he has all that data, all that power, all that influence, there's been a little trouble in paradise.
Many of the Doge people, Elon, are staying behind too, so they're not leaving. And Elon's really not leaving. He's going to be back.
That's right. As we see the bromance fall apart, Donald, Elon, couples should not break up on the internet. It's bad for the kids. And by kids, I'm talking about the 22-year-old kids that you left in charge of so much of the government. A lot of the people from Doge are staying behind. As they're behind as this little bullshit war breaks out. Who's on whose side? Who's giving who information? Who already has what information? We're in a big trouble. By the way, this was surprising to all of us, whether we're planning shit or not. We expected this to happen eventually. We didn't expect it to happen on June 5th and 6th. Well, this is fun to watch. This is fun for people to watch. I mean, stuck up in your popcorn, get your snacks. It's fun to watch, like Muxter blowing up at Scotto, or Muxter and I blowing up at each other on Thanksgiving. It's fun to watch, like Jeff and Scotto and G2 going at it with me and Muxter. It's more fun to watch than generally specific telling Rabbit I love you one day and then screaming and hollering him at the next. It's fun to watch people get into fights on the internet, but this is not that. These are not YouTube characters. These are, one, the richest man in the world, and two, currently the most powerful man in the world. And it's going to get ugly. It's fun to watch, but the impacts will be ugly. The only really good news about all of this is the I told you so. That's kind of good news. Every time the Republicans find themselves a hero, Dick Cheney, Jeffries, Paul Ryan, George W. Bush, Liz Cheney, you name them. At one point, they idolized them, they worshipped them, they hugged their nuts and kissed their asses, and we, the left of that far right, warned them, and they told us we were crazy, and eventually, all the names I just named became hated by what we now consider to be the right. That's good news. We get to say, I told you so. But being able to say I told you so isn't the end-all, be-all to what we need. The other good news is divide and conquer. The assholes have been fucking over our country for the last 4 months are now divided. And the people who follow them, they're divided too. But that's all beside the points. First point is June 6th. Remember those who gave the ultimate sacrifice, storming the beaches of Normandy to defeat Adolf Hitler and his thugs. It's a day to remember. Our grandfathers, our fathers, the first Antifa. Second, our nation is in grave trouble right now. Remember, ... Remember that there will be victory. Whether you're working towards it or just sitting in the background hoping others will do it for you, there will be victory. ... Bum, 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 bum. It is the fate. It is the fate of our democratic constitutional republic that we shall win. Are we going to suffer more before we win? Sadly, yes. And for those of you who are working to a certain end, as I said earlier today, John has a long mustache. And always remember, ... I am talking to mute again. I was just going to let that 22-minute clip play and then be on my way. Got some news. You guys probably already know it. Haven't been at my face in the news today. Abrego Garcia. Do you remember the fellow who had a court protection from being deported because he didn't really qualify for refugee status? He got protection from a court because it was just a matter of timing for the refugee status. Well, against that court order, ICE and HSI kidnapped him from Maryland and deported him without due process at taxpayers' expense to a maximum security prison in El Salvador. U.S. taxpayers paid El Salvador to run that prison, paid for the transportation of many others like Abrego Garcia, and despite the U.S. Supreme Court ordering Trump to facilitate his return, they blew it off for a while. Well, they've been working behind the scenes. Behind our backs, in the cover of night, they brought him back again at taxpayers' expense. Abrego Garcia is now back in the United States after tax dollars to send him away, tax dollars to hold him, and tax dollars to bring him back. Now they're going to try him for human trafficking. More tax dollars to run that trial. And the only really good news here is he may qualify for bail. I don't know. And he will actually get due process. Now, there's a lot of back and forth about whether he's a good guy or a bad guy or an average guy with flaws. I don't know the man. I do know that in the United States of America, under our Constitution, everybody gets due process. So the good news is Abrego Garcia, guilty or innocent, bad guy or good guy, he's going to get his due process. But now how much of our taxpayers' money has been spent to detain him, hold him, transport him, have him held in a foreign country, transport him back, and now try him for a crime that happened allegedly 3 years ago. That is why we have to do things like John has a long mustache. That is why we have to keep remembering ... That is why we, the people, have to stand up to this government who has now handed all kinds of data and information and access to a guy who hates the president. We all hate the president, but where does he take that hatred to the president? Does he take it to South Africa? Does he take it to communist China? Does he take it to damaging people? We just saw in the last 48 hours how he used it to attack Trump, his 72-hour ago bestest buddy in the whole wide world. He has access to whatever data the Social Security Administration keeps on us. They backed it up. They copied it. It now belongs to whatever Elon's doing with it. Same thing with the IRS. Same thing with all the government contracts he has for NASA and Department of Defense. The Golden Dome. The Golden Dome that Trump's been talking about he wants to build, guess who had to get information on how to build it? SpaceX, Elon Musk. And now they're fighting like a couple of fucking kids. We the people have to stand up, because otherwise we, America, are screwed. With that, let us take our hats off and remember those who fought on June 6, 1944, and the many years after that. And hope everyone has a wonderful day. I hope, you know what? I hope you're having the day that you voted for. Cheerio. Yes, I stole that.